Want to keep your personal number private but still stay connected? With Line 2, you can get a second phone line right on your device with a super simple app and no need for another phone. Whether it's for online shopping, dating, or shielding your main number from spam, Line 2 is an easy way to manage it all. Ready for peace of mind without breaking the bank? Call, text, block, and more for only $9.99. Get started with line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in any app store today. Line 2, your second line simplified.
You know that feeling when you're about to score 30% off, but they want your number? Ugh. Give them your Line 2 number instead. It's a second line on your phone, perfect for nabbing promo codes without inviting spam to your party. Sign up for every discount under the sun, then block the junk texts that follow. You get all the perks, but none of the spammy baggage. More codes, less chaos. Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store and get your shopping sidekick today. Because the only thing blowing up your phone should be good deals.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back, my little Chilluminati. Minisode 210, I think. This one
420?
is 420. Not yet. That'll be a good one though.
Oh, that one's
420.
just going to be us smoking.
The
Honestly,
420 main episode,
if we make it to episode 420, we have to.
Minisode
we're gonna be almost
420
at
is
300.
Minisode 420 is 420 minutes long, and it's us smoking weed for 420 minutes.
That would be, admittedly, I wouldn't smoke, but I would be.
or we smoke until we think it felt like 420
Oh no, I'd
minutes.
start with an edible and just keep eating one every 60 minutes.
Every 420 seconds. Yeah.
For by minute 420, I'd be like, guys, I don't feel good. Yeah.
Boys, welcome to the Minisode. Let's dive into some fun topics. I'm going to take the reins just to get it off the top. There's some really two cool things I want to talk about. One, we'll just talk about the drone update that's happening in New Jersey.
There's drones.
It's still going on, and
No one knows.
the people living there are starting to get a little weary about it all. But today, yesterday there was a hearing with the FBI, and they interviewed and it was public, you could watch it, about it. And basically the FBI shrugged their shoulders and said, we don't know what that is. And then today, the Pentagon held a press briefing, and they were asked about the drones. And the Pentagon said they're not ours, and they're not foreign technology. And they specifically then said, followed up with, it's definitely not Iran's, because a Republican congressman, went on a diatribe saying it's coming off an Iran vessel off in the ocean. But then at the very end said, or it could be hobbyists. But
That's why they specifically were like, there is no Iranian vessel in the ocean.
Correct.
I thought that was a weird. I was like, why specify that?
She also said no foreign at all, which is like,
it's not
then
foreign
who the fuck is
technology
it?
at all.
So what is it then?
Not our. So but thank you very much. That leaves us with private company territory.
I'm still with Jesse on the Amazon.
They
surveillance.
also could be lying and say, it could still be our tech, and they don't want to have people panicking for whatever reason.
There's a lot of weird stuff. Unfortunately, I think for a lot of the internet right now, if you go to Reddit or you go look at video online, a lot of it is bogus.
Oh God, yeah.
Many people are like, that's just a helicopter dude, or oh, that's a plane, or there's one that is like, it's a helicopter following it, and like that. The only thing that I note that I think is very interesting about all of this is, if you were trying to do something super secret, why stick so many blinking lights on it? It never makes sense to me why. Obviously, for regulations, I get it.
So apparently the lights are the right color, but they're not blinking the right patterns, according to some of the pilots that I've seen. But the idea is they don't want planes crashing into them.
Oh, sure. I get that, but I'm just saying, if this was anything nefarious,
right?
It doesn't make sense that you'd be like, everyone, look at me. So it's something,
and it's been happening for 3.5 weeks now, longer than
it's
you
weird.
think.
Musk. It's got Elon Musk vibes. It's got sinister, but just
and honestly, Alex,
the other interest. Yeah, sorry.
I think Alex is onto something where it's like corporate based because we don't know what Elon's doing here in California until it's already done. People will get photos of like, what the hell? There's rockets in the sky and shit. And he's like, that was Elon's company just launching rockets. And we're like, why did no one tell us? Like, you didn't need to know.
The sightings of things are spreading, which is like the no-fly zone is extended in parts of New York now. And the other part that we got yesterday from the hearing that was interesting is they're saying they're coming in from the ocean. Like they're seeing them, they're not coming out, and then people misinterpreted that on Reddit as coming out of the ocean, which is not what they said.
No, they're coming from that trajectory.
It's coming from that direction, and they're coming in like us every single night by like clockwork, the same hour they come in, and they leave the same hour, and they fly over like in a single file like direction. So that's all we know, and there's dozens of them or more.
Did they actually shoot one down that day?
So there was reports of one that crashed. I don't know if it's because they got shot down or just crashed, but it was cordoned off by state troopers. Like something went down, but we haven't heard anything about any of that at all. Like if that even was anything whatsoever. So we don't know. And that's the thing is just either like they're lying to us and it's stressing the people out who are living there, who are having these drones flying over their heads every single day for 3.5 weeks loudly. They're incompetent and they just can't stop anybody from coming in, or they're like, no option here is like good for just like as an excuse. But yeah, whatever they are, they're still going now, and it has not stopped, and it's just spreading. There's more of them, and I don't know. They're still car-sized. They're there all night long. It's just weird. It's just really fucking weird. And it's drawn out all the crazies on the subreddits that I'm into, of like people who are having psychic conversations with the Greys and the Pleiadians, that these are them. And I'm like, yep, here we go. It's just like, no, the more that we learn, the more they're clearly some sort of machine, man-made in some fashion.
Well, hold on. I'm also willing to accept alien tourism, and that every night at that time, a tour goes out to look at New Jersey, which I understand. I get it. If I was an alien, I'd be like, what is going on there?
You know the one inside the guy's head in Men in Black? Maybe they're little. Maybe they're little guys. Maybe that's like a bus for them.
Why,
you know?
if they are these aliens, why? You don't have to say why New Jersey. It's on the coastline. But why 3 weeks in New Jersey? Why 3 weeks over critical infrastructure?
It wasn't where everyone wanted to go, but it was compromise.
An interesting thing that I also read was like
cheaper than New York.
Another reason you don't want to shoot these things down is where they could crash land. It's like heavily populated area. It'll likely land on somebody's home, potentially cause fire. So it's just dangerous to shoot them down where they're stationed, because they're over people's houses. People are just taking videos of them from their lawn.
Like, can't they just shoot it down over the ocean?
See, good question. Like you would think. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, there's that. That's the update. There's nothing really new other than it's continually going. We had some actual public hearings and some answers saying they're not ours and they're not somebody else's. But the big thing I wanted to talk about today, which came out today, is from, did you guys see the big Google announcement?
No.
The big supercomputer?
Yeah. So Google is the first one to say they have developed their first quantum computer chip. Shares of Google parent Alphabet rose about 5% today after it unveiled a new generation of chip that the company said helped overcome a key challenge in quantum computing. Google on Monday introduced a new chip called Willow, which solved in 5 minutes a computing problem that would take a classical computer more time than the history of the universe. The tech companies
where we need to start being careful.
It solved something that how do you
how would you measure that? How do you quantify that?
Because we know computers can only do 0 or 1, so they'd have to run through every potential combination to figure out the right one.
So they just mathed it, is what you're saying. There's no one's tried to do that before.
No, they just mathed it because it's just the way our system works, and then with quantum they do it all at once.
Sure.
So which is just like Jesus. Tech companies right now are. They say this is the Routers article. Tech companies are chasing quantum. Reuters them. Tech companies are chasing quantum computing in hopes of developing systems that perform at speeds far faster than traditional silicon-based computers. The building blocks of quantum computers, called qubits, which we've talked about on the show many a time, while being fast, are error-prone, making it hard to ensure quantum computers are reliable and commercially viable. The more qubits used in quantum computing, the more errors typically occur. But Google said on Monday it found a way to string together qubits in the Willow chip so that error rates decline as the number of qubits rise, adding that it can also correct errors in real time. Quote, while there are no current uses, Willow will have major implications in science, medicine, and finance. Willow reduces errors exponentially and could lead to major breakthroughs and discoveries across industries, said Thomas Hayes, chairman and managing member at Great Hill Capital. Alphabet shares then rose. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what I just heard was guy at investment firm says we can use this to cheat the system even more. Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be so if you want, there's actually like an actual article from Google themselves on their own technology thing that you can read about this whole thing as well, where they talk about basically the fact that it does reduce errors. They also said Willow performed a standard benchmark computation in under 5 minutes. Then the fast computer systems, which they measured at 10 septillion years for a normal computer to figure out.
Right, but can it render Adobe Premiere files
without crashing?
Without crashing.
I don't think
I have a feeling it might be
that.
able to, I think the answer is yes.
I don't know. Adobe will find a way to make that not the case.
They'll charge you to make it.
They said this thing, it's 105 qubits on a qubit grid. There's a 6-minute presentation from Google showing how this thing works. If this is true, there's genuinely no way to wrap your mind around like how this is going to change everything. We'll be able to run simulations of things in ways and in depth and details that we just haven't been able to manage on a
trippy.
Yeah, like I'm here
that's
for
it.
Been the hardest thing is like because it just more error prone, but they've been able to grid the qubits together in a way that, however they're doing it, minimizes issues. And it's just like and then I can imagine them implementing this into their fucking AI, which is scary.
You know, one day, you little nerdlings, one day. You'll get your little robot girlfriend, and everything will be fine. It'll be okay.
That day is...
It's coming quick.
4 years ago.
Yeah. All I can say to you is don't abuse them. I've played Detroit Become Human. It does not end well for us. So
I'm already
treat them pretty good.
Impeccably nice. I'm already impeccably nice to ChatGPT when I have to talk to them.
Me too. I thank it if I have to use this.
I'm like,
for
wow,
whatever reason.
Sorry, I don't want to bother you if you got anything else going on, but
but hey,
remember me, your good friend Jesse
can you just
Cox.
Take my outline and
put your
organize
address
it in chronological order.
Can you find me the word sunglasses in any piece of DB Cooper testimony?
Yeah, please.
Just kidding. I did not do that.
Yeah, exactly. They basically, this guy left AI to go work on this, and when he asked why he went on that way, he's like, these two are inevitably going to meet, and I wanted to be on the forefront of making this shit.
That's so bad.
And he's already talked about his new lab, Quantum AI. So, yeah, and this is all Google.
The exact name of a company that will kill us all.
Yeah, so we're living through it, man. I did not think we'd live through genuinely the creation of, even on a base level of AI, to have a chatbot that can like literally sound human. And now we're looking at quantum computing.
We're basically
oh boy.
All right, guys, I have to tell you something about another development in the DB Cooper case.
Okay.
That I have personally made in my own life that has already been long figured out by people in the DB Cooper community. Last time that I checked in on this, because I always figure out kind of what my minisode's going to be about, like beforehand, there was some question as to whether there was going to be a CooperCon 2024 this year.
CooperCon.
Which is sort of a meeting of the minds of all the people who think about the DB Cooper case. It sounds silly, but it's like a real thing. But apparently the people that ran into some sort of debt with the Boeing Museum of Flight in Seattle where they had it, where they owed them a bunch of money. But then some other people came and like bought it by like paying its way out of the debt and having the thing actually occur again. And so it all went off without a hitch about like 3 weeks ago. CooperCon. It's now called the 2024 DB Cooper Conference. So it's a little bit, they're trying to legitimize
it. With CooperCon, man. Fucking just stick with it.
The consensus is that this one had a much more like professional, academic, professorial, like a more serious feel. Sure. And so I think they changed the title to reflect that, and and discourage there to be as much like cosplaying and more just like sharing of research kind of stuff, right? So, like, that's what's going on here. But I have some actual answers to what we were talking about in the episode with Norm. So, like, here we go. First of all, FBI opening the case. This is a website called the Mountain News, Washington.net. This writer is called Bruce Smith 49. Bruce Smith, sorry. His name is just Bruce Smith. He's not an android. That was just his username. Basically, the FBI, there is a Cooper Mystery Facebook page that describes that a recent court filing, it's actually Facebook's Cooper Mystery site, is what it says, which makes it sound like Facebook runs a Cooper Mystery page, but maybe it's just a page on Facebook called Cooper Mystery. But basically, there was a court ruling that forced the FBI to either reopen the case or let people have access to the files and evidence and the tie and all that stuff that people are trying to get their hands on all the time. And so, according to them, the FBI then decided to reopen the case quietly, install a new case agent that nobody knows the name of, and just get control of who gets to see the evidence again. So that's kind of why the FBI has reopened the case. Something like that. And we were talking about Dan Greider, the probable cause guy, who has been working with the McCoys to prove that their dad, Richard McCoy, has this parachute in North Carolina that he dragged out to be DNA tested to see if it's D.B. Cooper's parachute. But let me tell you this. There wasn't anything discussed about the FBI and the parachute and anything like that at CooperCon 24, but this guy on his Cooper podcast site, Ryan Burns, showed that the pictures of the parachute that are on the video have D-rings and Capewell release devices, and we know that the chute that D.B. Cooper used did not have those things. So it's very unlikely that this parachute was the one used by D.B. Cooper that day. So think about that.
Thinking.
The serious people already knew that there was some nonsense by the detail on a parachute. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we now know why the FBI have reopened their case. We now know that this parachute thing is kind of nonsense. And also, I heard an account that an audience member at CooperCon 24 had to be physically removed by security because she believes that her 90-year-old friend who recently died is D.B. Cooper and had his confession on tape. And literally she crashed a presentation and like had this tape that she was trying to show people and had to be physically restrained.
That's a really good way to get your people to believe you're telling the truth.
Yeah, just wildly flail about.
Yeah.
Pretty dramatic. They found uranium and titanium and antimony on the tie. There's all kinds of tie weirdness going on, but again, still nothing actionable, nothing really that puts us towards any conclusion. But it's good to know that CooperCon was able to pay its debt and lives to fight another day.
Good job, CooperCon. Jesse, you want to take us out of here with whatever you got?
Yeah, sure. First, I just want to say for the record, hey, as we near the end of the year, listener, take some time, think about what UFO or paranormal or alien-based conventions you would like to see us at. I bet we could go to a few of them.
I bet we could.
If you know, if we have information now. Anyway, moving right along. Guys, drones are fun. D.B. Cooper, cute. But today I want to talk to you about God.
Oh,
Cool.
The true God.
There's
You
so
see,
many of them.
scientists exploring a deep cave in Galilee, Israel, have discovered a human civilization, or at least a group of people that lived underground at one point in time, in a massive cave structure 35,000 years ago.
what?
And yep, this massive cave structure, and in it, they've found different places where someone might live, where someone might eat. But they found one area further away from everything else that has, on the stalactites and stalagmites, the scorch of like torch gunk. You know, like where the fire would have scorched
like a resiny, like, yeah.
Yeah, and the room is sort of perfect for vocal amplification. And if you were to say, oh, I don't know, have a big group of people there, and you would meet, and you would sing or chant or do whatever you did 35,000 years ago. But in the center, in the touchstone of this room, is a engraved rock placed in a niche in the cavern that is the focal point of the entire room. And on that rock, scientists believe, is the idol of their worship. What the people 35,000 years ago represented as their deity. And that was, gentlemen and listeners at home, a three-dimensional representation of a turtle.
Stephen King was right.
So that is, and it looks like they say it is contemporaneous with some of the oldest cave paintings in France, which is very interesting as well. And so
there's these turtle guys chilling underground.
They just like worshipped a turtle, according to them, according to the scientists. That's the best they can figure. They were just like, this turtle is awesome. We love this turtle. And the reason why they think
slang for weed.
And the reason why they think it's very specifically a place of worship is because it's so far away from everything else that you had to have wanted to go there. It wasn't like in the center of town. And again, this is all kind of underground. It's very cool that they just kind of lived.
How many people are we talking about?
That's a great question. I have no clue. But enough that it would have been a large community. But we're not talking city. We're talking community of people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. I love that.
Galilee.
Yeah.
The turtle squad.
In a deep cavern.
The Turtle Club. Dude, nobody was turtly enough for the Turtle Club except for them.
Yeah.
They say what's interesting about it is it's sort of this middle ground area, and I think this goes a lot to the history of mankind, where the art is very clearly represented in France. They have contemporary illustrations of France when you think about like the French caverns and you see the way that, but also it has the ritualistic, at least from what they can tell based on the site, it has ritualistic behavior consistent with that of Asia.
Oh.
And it's funny because it's right kind of in the middle. And so that makes perfect sense when you think about mankind, that probably 35,000 years ago, there's still people moving around being like, what's that over there? And how's that work? Very interesting.
So lit.
I love that. I love finding weird little shit about like humans and what the fuck we were doing a long time ago.
What's the one
and they
with
just
the
said it's a rare insight into the spiritual thoughts and behaviors of archaic human societies.
That's Stephen King's like fantasy.
I think it's real.
Oh, maybe it is.
I think there's a real turtle with like balancing like elephants.
Maybe it's like
that makes sense.
I think there's something.
Some sort of Discworld.
No, I think it's real. No. I think even Discworld is a reference to a real thing. I think.
I'm referencing.
Somebody let me know. Somebody text me. Text my phone number.
I'm gonna really quickly just to show you guys this. This is the cave. This is how big it is.
Yeah.
It's big. Like it's a big ass cave.
I love the idea of a big ass.
That's cool.
Oh man! Oh, is this the guy?
So you can kind of see, like, that's part of the guy. Yeah, it's part of the turtle that they worshipped. I think that's awesome. It just shows a lot about like
he's like a
human
Porygon.
Society.
He's like a Porygon Pokemon turtle.
Yeah, I wonder what they thought the deal with turtles was 35. You know, like there's something about a turtle that you think, that's
like
our
sick
guy.
Rock. It's like a sick rock that's alive, dude. It's lit.
I guess you're right. I mean, I guess if you didn't know, one day you see a rock and then a head pops out like, hello.
Turtle's one of the most Pokemon-like animals out there. Mm-hmm. The armadillo, another one that's crazy. The porcupine, wacky as hell. The platypus, get out of here. There's all kinds of stuff that's sick out there. Nature's crazy, man.
If you just want to see it, that's the other turtle. That's the full remains of this good boy.
Show me this big turtle, baby.
Yeah, I can see a little turtleage there.
Yeah, I see it. And like I'm saying, it's like CG. It's like a little dot matrix turtle.
Yeah.
They love the turtle. So I thought that was cute. I was like, look at us. Ancient humans. We wacky.
We weird. We wacky.
We've always been weird cave turtle guys. People who love
You're not wrong.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now don't feel so bad.
Actually. Yeah.
It's one of the oldest things you can love.
Yeah.
Now you know.
And we love you, patrons. Thank you so much for supporting us here at patreon.com/ChilluminatiPod. We'll be back next week. We got a lot of traveling coming up. We'll figure it out. Yeah, don't worry.
Thanks
but
for all
we'll
the
be
turtle
back.
food.
Yeah, thanks for all the turtle food. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thanks for all the rotten lettuce.
Gross.